Hi, I'm Cindy and welcome to Hot Yoga Tales. This is a show about the journey of two people who've never taken yoga before, and each week we experience a different type of yoga. Be sure to stay tuned after class to hear how Kelly and Torsten do in their practice this week. Today I want to share with you my favorite practice, Power Flow. It's our most intense flow, and it involves postures and movements that are sure to produce purifying sweat and detoxification of mind and body. If you're following along at home, listen to your body and challenge yourself without pushing beyond your limits. So let's get started in our practice here today. Taking a seat on our mat, coming into our beginning pose here in our Shavasana. As we do, laying down, pulling shoulder blades together and taking legs as wide as the mat. Feet just splaying out to either side of the room and hands facing up towards the sky. Perhaps closing eyes to bring awareness inwards, tucking the chin slightly, thinking about the skin around the eyes as being soft, cheeks and jaw loose, shoulders and hips liquid, just spreading on the ground. With each inhale, you're thinking about the word let, and with each exhale, thinking about the word go, and applying that to whatever it might mean in your practice, in your body, and in your mind. Inhaling let, and exhaling go. The breath flows all the way down to the belly, pushing diaphragm empty with the exhale. And practicing at home, doing your Shavasana as long as you feel appropriate. Getting started here today with our practice now. As you inhale, curl those fingers in towards the palms of the hands and hold the fists tight for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the breath and open fingers back up. One more time. Inhale, hands and fingers are tight. Hold the breath for 3, 2, 1. The breath releases and the hands soften. Same thing with the feet now. Curl the toes in. They pull in towards the arches. Breath is held. Exhale, soften the feet and release the breath. Inhale, pull toes tight. Holding and breathing out and softening the feet. Let's take the knees now and bend them and place the soles down into the ground. Pulling that right knee in towards the chest and interlacing your fingers in front of that kneecap. Then pull head and shoulders away from the ground, rounding out the spine, pulling that knee in towards the nose. Pull belly tight in towards the body. Flexing the right foot. Changing your grip now and holding onto the calf muscle and then straightening that leg up towards the sky, heel faces towards the ceiling. Lift the heart high towards the heavens. Holding here, working the right hamstring and ab muscles. Keep the leg high and then soften shoulders and head down to the ground. Interlace fingers behind the leg and pull it in tight. It's the exhale that draws the leg closer, perhaps an ever so slight release on the inhale. Shoulder blades are flat to the floor. Exhale, leg closer. And inhale, soften slightly. One more time, elongate that leg. Soften, bend the knee and place that foot down onto the ground. This time it's the left knee that you hug in tight. Pull that belly in towards the spine, head and shoulders come away from the ground, nose to knee. Changing the grip of the hands to the back of the calf and then pushing that heel high. Lifting, opening lungs up towards that foot, pressing through the heel. Pull the waist in snug. for 3, 2, 1. Soften shoulders and head down to the ground. Keep the leg high. Interlace the fingers behind that leg. Pull it in close towards the body. The breath pulls it in. Perhaps a little release with the inhale. Now soften that knee and place that leg down onto the ground. Interlace fingers over top of the tummy. Start to take hands away, sending them up towards the ceiling. As you do so, turn the hands inside out. Palms face up towards the sky and elbows straighten. Feel that stretch from the wrist all the way down, forearms. Soften the elbows now. Pull knees in towards the chest and take those interlaced fingers and wrap them around the knees and hug them in tight. Release the grip of the fingers, open knees, and take arms inside the legs. Hold on to the big toes with your peace fingers. Now straighten the legs off to the side, pressing out through the heels. Perhaps your shoulder blades come away from the mat. As you do so, try to flatten them back down towards the ground. If you need a variation in your practice today, just straighten one leg at a time. Holding here, belly rising and falling up between the legs and lowering back down. Let's bend the knees now. Heels touch, release the grip of the feet, legs come back together, and send soles high. Hands on the quad muscles, push the heels up. Inhale, take the hands up the legs towards the ankles, work the tummy muscles, pull the legs in tight. Exhale, soften, hands slide back down the legs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, breathing in and coming up. And releasing and softening. Take the arms out to the side in a T position. Palms face to floor. Bend the knees in towards the chest. Let's roll the legs over towards the right, stacking hip on hip, knee on knee. Power class today, so we're going to flow faster. Pull knees back up towards the chest, and then release the knees off to the left. Knees pull back up to center. We're going to keep moving over to the right, working the ab muscles. If you pull your belly in tight, up and to the left, that's going to help to protect your lower back. If you want more challenge for power flow today, start to straighten the legs. Your choice, keeping them bent or straightening the whole way out. Keep them bent if you have lower back problems. High and left, up and right, high and low. One more time on each side. Breathe in and breathe out. Up and down. And feet are high. Let's press the soles of the feet together and release the legs down to the ground. A variation of fish. Arms alongside the body, palms face to floor. Press forearms, palms into the ground. As you lift your body away from the ground, flower heart towards the ceiling. Drop the head back if you don't have neck issues. Holding, releasing belly from the work we just did for 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten out the head, straighten the spine, release it down to the ground. Push the feet forward. We're going to do our yoga bicycles today. Take the hands behind the head, bend the elbows. We're never going to pull on the head, just support, starting slow and building to a faster pace. Left knee into the chest, right elbow touches. Release back to starting position, push the heel forward. Right knee high, left elbow touches, and back. Alternate sides, lift and lower. Pull the tummy small, high and low. Up and down. Let's increase the pace now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more sets of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crunch and twist. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, push to 9, push to 8, to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull knees in and open them wide to the side, and then pull knees up towards the armpits. Flex the feet, engage those muscles. They hug towards the bones. Soften the grip of the knees. 4 more sets of 10, straight legs. You're pushing heavy away as you straighten the legs down towards the ground. Ready, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, push to 9, 8, crunch, twist, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 20, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come in and circle around. Butterfly circles. Opposite direction. Holding on to the knees now. We're going to rock along the length of the spine here and come up into a seated position. From here, just taking the right heel and sending it to the left glute, and then the left foot over to the side of that bent knee in front of you. If this is a little too twisty for you, you can take that foot in front of you. Taking the left hand behind you, nice tall arm reaches up towards the sky, and as you exhale, bend that elbow to the outside of the left knee and apply the twist. The palm is energized and the fingers are spread wide. Left shoulder blade pushing behind you. Left foot touching down to the ground for 3, 2, 1. Arms straight up, twist to center, and release the hand, finding our staff pose by pushing feet straight out in front of us. Finding that 90-degree angle here at the hips. Roll shoulders forward. And send them back. Leave those shoulders back and down. Drop chin to the chest. Feel your neck elongating. Roll right ear to right shoulder. Drop chin to the chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin to chest and lift head high. Bend the right knee just enough to take the left heel this time. Place it under that leg and send it to the outside of the right glute. Right foot pressing down to the floor in front of you, or for a little bit more to the outside of that left knee. Tailbone grounded down to the earth. Inhale tall. Right hand behind you. Fingertips touch to floor. Inhale, left hand high. And as you exhale, take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee and push. Top of the head reaches high, chin just a little bit tucked here. Lift the left arm up, twist back to center, and release that hand. Back into our staff pose to engage those core muscles. Hands are down on the ground on the mat, just in front of the glutes here on either side of the thighs. Inhale, push the earth away from you. Stack the bones in the arms. Glutes come away from the ground. Toes pull back. You're stretching your hamstrings and working your arms and core muscles for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften those glutes back down to the ground. Pull the knees closer and cross the ankles. Roll over the top of them and come to knees. Going to do a variation of Wild Thing and do Shavasana, camel pose here. Up we go, guys. Taking your left hand on top of your left glute, fingers point down towards the floor. Bring the right hand up towards the sky and then start to open up towards the ceiling. You can always pull back on the pose or add more, taking left hand down towards the left ankle, reaching right hand behind you. Pressing hips and quad forward for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, straighten out the spine and the neck. Repeating on the other side. Right hand to the top of the right glute. Left hand reaches high. Compress the lower spine. Perhaps reaching back to that right ankle. 3, 2, 1. Lift the left arm up. Hands are down on the mat. We're going to find our first plank position here today with the fingers spread wide, middle finger pointing forward. Pressing the feet behind you, heels away from you, sending energy out through the top of the head. Engaging back muscles, pulling belly in tight, holding here. Now very slowly, we're going to release down to the ground. Elbows bend in towards the ribs, not out towards the side. The first thing to touch down is chest. Flip the tops of the feet, touch to the mat, push up to cobra. If you want more, bend the knees and arch the neck back. Straighten out the legs, look beyond the right shoulder. And forward. Over the left shoulder. And forward. Release torso down to the ground. An intense pose coming up that involves all the muscles in your body. Dhanurasana or bow pose. Bend the knees, hold on to the ankles and flex the feet. Forehead touches to the mat. Inhale, press the soles high. Take chest and body away from the ground. Have your ankles pulling against your hands, hands pulling against your ankles. The closer your legs, the more challenging the pose. Keep holding on to your ankles and soften down to the mat. We have 2 more sets. Inhale and lift. Gaze forward. Take as much away from the floor as you possibly can. Feel arms and legs and back getting stronger. Soften down. One more time. Inhale and lift. And soften. Release the grip of the ankles, feet are on the ground. We're going to come into Superwoman or Super Person pose, depending on who you are. Forehead touches down to the ground. Arms are spread out in front of you. Inhale, lift all your limbs away from the ground. Reach them forward and high for 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften legs and hands, touch back down to the ground. Inhale, high and lift. You're stretching forward and up. Take the heart away from the earth for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. We have one more set of Superwoman pose. Inhale and lift and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow the legs to touch down. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Come into grasshopper. By sucking elbows in towards the ribs, lift the right leg away from the ground and tuck the left foot underneath the right thigh. Pull everything into your center. Send energy out through your right heel. Try to keep the hips square. Soften, left leg down, right leg touches. Other side, lift the left leg high and tuck the right foot in underneath the left thigh. Feel energy pulling in. Make the pose something. Release. Left leg comes down to the ground. Keep the knees bent. Reverse windshield wiper to relax your lower back. Reach behind you. Hold on to the tops of the feet and pull the heels in towards the glutes. If you need more, pull the heels off to either side of your hips. We're going to take a break now. Heels touch the glutes, relax the legs, turn head to one side and soften. We'll be right back. Welcome back. from here, tuck your toes under and press energy out through your heels. Roll your head back to a center position, bending elbows and placing hands underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows in tight towards the ribs. Pull the knees away from the ground and press into a strong plank position. Have a look, making sure shoulders are over top of the wrists. Feet are hip distance apart. From here, release into your downward facing dog by sending glutes behind you, pressing knuckles into the mat. There's a little pop at the bottom of the spine, flowering buttocks back and away. Let's take the left leg away from the ground. We're going to come into our twisted dog position. Bend the left knee, and then roll the hips, stacking the right hip on top of the left, looking underneath the right arm. Coming into one of my favorite postures, Wild Thing, or staying here if Wild Thing is not in your practice. Dropping that left foot down to the ground and flowering heart high towards the sky, reaching that hand behind you. Stacking the bones in the right arm as support for the pose. Pulling tummy muscles tight here to twist back into a three-legged dog position, straight left leg, and then it drops down towards the ground. Changing sides this time, lifting the right leg behind you. Bending that knee, left toes stay pointing forward as you open the hips towards the right, stacking right on top of left, pushing that sole away from you. Staying in twisted dog or control and slow, dropping right foot down towards the ground. Opening heart and lungs high. Snug up those stomach muscles as you pull back into a three-legged dog position and full downward facing dog. Now let's kick this up a notch here as we roll through some fast-paced vinyasas. Bend the knees towards the ground. Look between the hands. Hop forward, slow and controlled. Fingers touch down to toes. Straighten out the legs for Uttanasana. Reach the arms wide to the side. Start to hinge at the hips. Reverse swan dive. And then pulling hands into heart center. Exhale, arms wide and fold forward. Fingers touch down to the toes. Hands press to the shins. Flatten out the back. Exhale, soften the knees. Place palms flat to floor. Hop into chaturanga or plank. If you're in chaturanga, press to plank. Let's enter into three-legged plank, taking right foot behind you. If you want more, take the left hand away from the ground, balancing. If you've done it on the other side, do it on the other. So drop the right foot down towards the ground, lift the left foot away from the mat, and reach the right hand forward. Right hand comes down, and then the left foot press into your downward facing dog. Bend those knees, look between your hands, hop forward. Straighten the legs, reverse swan dive, arms wide to the side, and then pull into prayer position. Exhale out, dive forward, fingers touch down to the toes. Inhale, hands press to shins, shoulders are back. Exhale, bend the knees, palms flat to floor. Hop into your plank position. 6 chaturanga push-ups. Turn the elbow creases towards the front of the room. And as you exhale, bend those elbows underneath the ribs. Nice strong back and push high, low, and up. For 4 more, lead with the chest. Down and up. Last 2, push, low, high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands, hop forward, straighten the legs. Out to the side, reverse swan dive, pull hands into Anjali Mudra. Press wide, fold forward, fingers to toes, hands to shins and flatten the back. Exhale, soften the knees, palms press to earth. Hop into your plank position. Release halfway down to chaturanga and hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into plank. Push to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and hop forward. Straighten the legs. Reverse swan dive, arms to the side. Pull, palms pressed together. Lengthen arms out. Fold forward, fingers touch to toes. Hands press to the legs. Soften the knees, palms push to mat, and push back into your plank position. Let's stir the pot here. Balls of the feet rolling in a clockwise position. Abs are strong. Other direction, counterclockwise. And stillness. Push into your downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and hop forward. Straighten the legs. Reverse swan dive. Pull hands to heart center. Out. Forward. Hands to shins, flat back. Knees bend, palms flat to floor. Hop into plank. Now pull that right knee in towards the chest. Push it back, take that leg high. Pull forward, right knee to chest. And back. This time, as you pull forward into plank, you can drop lower into chaturanga, keeping the right leg straight behind you. Push straight right leg back. Pull forward again, bending elbows in towards the ribs. And away. Right leg down to the ground. Left leg back. Pull forward into plank and pull left knee into the chest. Take it behind you for a three-legged dog. Pull that knee into chest center again. And away. This time, keep the legs straight. Pull forward into plank or drop all the way down to chaturanga, keeping left leg high. Press to plank if you were in chaturanga. Release to downward facing dog. And full downward facing dog, all 4 points on the ground. From here, take the right leg behind you. Swing that foot, plant it down onto the ground. Left knee stays away from the mat. If you need to, you can drop it down towards the floor. Engage tummy muscles. Hands come away from the ground. The palms start to press together. Start to lift those hands up towards the ceiling. Pressing elbows together, compressing the lower spine and looking towards the sky. Straighten out the spine. Take the right hand down to the mat to the inside of the right foot. Allow left foot to drop down to the ground. Sink low in the lunge. Take the right hand underneath the right hamstring. Left hand wraps behind your back. Fingers interlace. Have fingers pull against each other. Lift the left shoulder up towards the sky. Breathe into your right quad. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Release the grip of the hands. Keep the knee bent on the right side. Take the right hand in front of you for warrior 2. Drop the shoulders down. Look beyond the right fingertips with fierce eyes. Holding. Now turn both palms up. Bring hands up to the side. Have the biceps hugged to the ears. Top of the head reaching in between the fingers. Holding, press that left hip back for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand down to outside of right foot. Windmill that left arm around. Left heel comes away from the ground. Hands press to the mat. Right foot, take it back to plank position. And push to downward facing dog. This time, left leg behind you. Swing that foot through and plant it down onto the ground and drop the hips low. Take the arms off to the side this time. Reach them, flip the palms up, and then reach them up overhead. Maybe interlace the fingers and send the pointing finger high. We call this Charlie's Angels, Anjali Mudra. Straighten out the spine and the neck. Take that left hand down towards the ground to the inside of the left foot. Let the right heel touch down towards the mat. Sink low in the pose. Take that left hand underneath the left hamstring and take the right arm, wrap it behind your back, fingers interlace. Resist your fingers against each other. This is a bind. Look up towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Release the grip of the hands. Allow body to rise slightly. Look beyond the left fingertips. Drop the shoulders. Those hips face forward. Fierce warrior eyes. Flip palms up. Bring arms together and lean off to the side. For less challenge, your hand can be on your hip. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand to outside of left foot, right hand down to the mat. Push the earth away from you. Find your plank position. Press the ground away from you for downward facing dog. We're going to walk the feet now towards the hands halfway. Bend the elbows, place the shins on top of the triceps, spread the fingers wide. Come up onto your tippy toes. Think about a strong back. You can have your toes just touch down to the mat, or for more challenge, come into crow pose and take those toes away from the floor. Beware, it's very common to fall forward on your head, maybe having a pillow there for support if you're doing this for the first time. Press the chin forward, looking forward, holding, feet are flexed for 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, hop or stepping back into your plank position. And downward facing dog. Walk those feet up towards the hands. Bend the knees ever so slightly. Now, take the right knee and bend it. Reach your left arm behind you. That hand's going to hold on to the right ankle. Then, press into the left heel, straighten that leg. Taking the right hand away from the ground. This is twisted Lord of the Dance. Have that ankle pulling on the hand pulling on the ankle, folding forward as much as you can for 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that right hand down to the ground, release the ankle, foot touches to mat, find chair position, press heels, bend the knees, take hands away from the ground, hands to hip. For more challenge, up overhead, biceps hugging to ears. Think about tucking the pelvis, pulling the tummy in, making sure that you can see your knees. Holding here. Intensity in holding. Drop hands down to the ground, start to straighten the legs. Take the left knee now and bend it. Reach around with your right hand. Find your centering and balance from your core. Start to take the left fingers away from the mat. Reach that left hand forward. Ankle pulling on hand, hand pulling on ankle. Holding, folding. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the grip of the ankle. Leg touches down to the ground. We find ourselves in a standing Tadasana position. At this point in our practice, performing a balancing pose, one of the more challenging ones for power class today, eagle position. Inhale high. As you exhale, start to bend those knees. Shifting weight over to the left side. Pick up the right foot, cross right leg over left, and tuck those right toes in behind the left calf muscle. If this is too challenging, you can take those toes and just have them touch down to the ground for more support. Take the arms out in front of you. Right elbow over top of the left. Start to wrap your arms, palms meet. If palms don't meet, back of hands is fine. Start to lift those hands up towards the sky as you pull the shoulders down your back. Pull your tummy in tight and twist your limbs and sit low in your eagle, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbows come back down towards the tummy, arms stretch out and unravel. Last thing, right foot presses into the ground and we stand tall. We're in our Tadasana position once again with shoulders back and down. Big breath in, and as you exhale, you start to bend those knees. The left leg gets light. You lift it over top of the right like you're crossing your legs in a chair. Toes maybe just touching down to the ground or wrapping behind your calf muscle. Arms out in front. Left elbow over right and wrap your arms. Palms touch, pull blades down and lift the hands high. Pull the tummy in. Feel the space being created between your shoulder blades as you twist and lower and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Unraveling the hands first, sending them straight out, releasing that foot. Your arms are straight out in front of you. Palms face down towards the ground. Start to bend the knees lower and lower. Coming down to the level that's right for you. Perhaps your heels come away from the mat, balancing on the balls of the feet and holding here. If your arms are getting tired, just pulling them to the waist. Recognizing if you're feeling mental fatigue or physical. Pushing past mental fatigue. 3, 2, 1. Try to sit the whole way down. Taking arms behind you for support. And then dropping down to your knees. Finding yourself in a hero position. Your glute muscles relax back to the heels. Arms are off to the side. Right hand tense off. Left hand reaches. Bend the right elbow. Left side stretch. Inhale up. Left hand down to the ground. Reach the right arm high. Left elbow bends. Stretch. And high. As we enter into break, we'll fold forward and wrap our arms around the outsides of our legs. We'll be right back. And welcome back from break. Just engaging tummy muscles slightly, enough to allow your head to pull away from the mat. Taking your arms out in front of you. I'm going to ask our participants just to turn in towards each other on the mat. We're going to do wide angle bend. So unleashing your glutes here from your heels and then stepping your legs wide to the side. We're going to fold forward. At this point, your back is flat and your fingertips are just touching down towards the ground. Press that tailbone behind you to feel the backs of the legs getting longer. Then release further into the pose by bending the elbows. Perhaps your head touches all the way down to the mat. If headstand is in your practice, can roll forward onto your tippy toes. Hands support you, feet come away from the ground and rise high towards the sky. Otherwise, just staying in your forward bend, knowing that head below the heart is excellent for mental health and circulation. From here, hands press into the ground, back flattens out once again. And then heel, toe, legs a little bit closer together. Legs are still wide. We're going to bend the left knee now and keep the right leg straight, feeling that stretch in the inside of the right thigh. Let's roll over to the right, bending the right knee and straightening the left. One more time on each side. It's just a shift of the weight. And back to the other side. Bending both knees now. Turning the heels slightly inward so that your toes are at 45 degrees. Round out the spine, let the arms be heavy, and then start to lift arms away from the ground. Stacking vertebrae on vertebrae. Last thing to come into place are shoulders. We're in a standing version of frog pose. Excellent for glutes and quads. Hands can be on hips, or for more challenge, lift arms up overhead. Biceps hug to ears. Fingers are spread wide and palms share energy. Not allowing the knees to spill inwards, pushing them so that they're over top of the ankles. Very important for your knees. Holding here. Press into the heels. Feel your quads working. For 3, 2, 1. Bending the elbows now. Hands drop to the hips. Pushing into the heels. We're going to come into our twisted Trikonasana, twisted triangle position. So you're going to have all 10 toes pointing forward. The farther apart your legs are from each other, the more balance you're going to have. More challenge, the more aligned your feet are. Nice straight spine with the pelvis slightly tucked. Breath in up through the spine. As you exhale, fold forward. Take your body parallel with the floor. Outside of the left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Then reach the right hand up towards the sky. Look in that direction. Hand pressing into that ankle, twisting from the waist. Beautiful, nice square hips. Hand reaches high. Gorgeous, holding, reaching for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes down. Bend that right knee just slightly. Let's work that hamstring. Shift the weight, straight leg, and then forward. Push away from you and forward. For power class today, we're going to do some hop switching. You can do 1 or you can do 11, ending with left foot forward. Let's switch. Left, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, shift the weight, stretching the left hamstring. And come forward into a lunge. Push away. And forward. Last one, push away. Both legs are straight now. We're going to come into twisted Trikonasana, taking hands away from the mat, coming into your folded position here, and then take the outside of the right hand to the outside of the left ankle, and then lift that left hand high. Look towards it for more challenge. Beautiful. Try to straighten that right leg if you can. Very nice. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take that left hand down to the ground. Soften that left knee, allowing right foot to touch. I'm going to bend the knees now and allow glutes to release down to the floor. I incorporate quite a bit of core work into my practice. Core is the foundation for centering your body. Pull the shoulders back and down. Feet are about hip distance apart. Interlace fingers. Lift your heels away from the ground and cross right ankle over the left. Pull tummy tight. Now, as you breathe in, push the heels forward and release torso back. Exhale, empty the diaphragm. Hands come in between the knees. Inhale, exhale. Tummy's pulled in tight. Down and up. Low and high. Push and pull. 10, 9. Open up the chest. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll take a break. You know we have to do this on the other side now. So take the feet down to the ground, arms behind you, reverse table to release the tummy, lift it high towards the sky. Taking a moment to replenish And then dropping glutes back down softly. Feet come away from the mat once again. This time it's the left ankle over top of the right. Hands interlaced. Breathe in and push the heels away. Exhale, come high. Breathe in and out. Low and up. It's the heels that you're pushing away and then crunching for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allow the soles to touch down to the ground. Hands are behind you. Windshield the knees off to the side. Feel the release of the waist. And tall. Off to the left. And up. Hold on to the knees here as your spine releases down towards the ground. Heels press into the earth. Just tickling the heels here with that middle finger. Arms alongside the body. Press into the heels to find your Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose. Push the hips a little higher, sending your hands underneath the hips. Wrists are over top of your elbows. Tummy strong here as you pull the knees in towards you. Only doing this at home if you still feel safe in your practice and you don't have neck issues. Press the soles up towards the sky for shoulder stand. I always offer here that people can be playful in their shoulder stand if they feel like moving their legs around or if they enjoy stillness. Also, an option in shoulder stand is to maneuver into plow, taking those feet behind you and allowing the toes to touch down to the floor. Your choice. Pressing the soles of the feet together, making a diamond shape with the legs, perhaps pushing knees away from you. Enjoying the effect on circulation and mental health. Let's pull the knees together. Change the grip of the hands to the quad muscles. Allow the back to ease down to the ground, slow and controlled. Soles touch to the floor. Reaching arms up and back, staying here for a moment, or if wheel is in your practice, taking your hands beside your head, just above the shoulders, pressing feet into the ground and taking tummy high towards the ceiling. If you want more, perhaps your leg comes up and high. If you do it on one side, be sure to repeat on the other. Pull your right knee in towards your chest here, coming out of wheel or shoulder stand or Setu Bandhasana. Straighten the left leg down to the ground. Then pull that right knee off to the side. Try to keep that left glute melted down to the ground. Now, draw the circles on the ceiling here just with the right knee. That foot is flexed. And then send that leg straight in front of you. Left knee comes in, it gets a hug. Right glute stays on the mat as you open left knee wide to the side and roll that leg in circles. From here, let's end our practice in what's called Baddha Konasana. Press the soles of the feet together, knees split open off to the sides. Pull the shoulder blades tight onto the floor. Tuck the chin. Remember at the beginning of our practice, we talked about the word let and go. So reconnect with what that meant to you. Inhaling let, exhaling go. Pulling breath all the way up the spine and releasing it back down. Yoga has truly enriched my life, and I'm hoping that you have found some benefit here in your practice today. Finding softness on your mat, in your body, and in your heart. Pulling knees back together here, holding on to the backs of the legs and pulling yourself up. Repositioning on yourself on the mat if need be. Crossing legs. Finding a straight spine. Releasing arms off to the side, palms face high. Inhale, hands up overhead and palms touch. Pull thumbs down to third eye. Be conscious of the connection between mind, body, and spirit. Thumbs touch down to the heart. Chin drops towards the chest. Thank you for joining us at Hot Yoga Tales. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Power yoga was fantastic. It was a really good workout. It's a dynamic workout. It is challenging. Cindy does a really good job with that class. You have to really follow the word cues. It is detoxifying because you sweat so much. It is calming. Like at the end, I felt very, very, very relaxed when I was back at home. It was a very good workout, but it was the most power yoga. It was the most difficult yoga class I've done, and so I've worked up to that class, and then I've really enjoyed it. With power yoga, you realize very quickly that this is going to be a challenging class, almost like a workout with weights, because you're using all of your own body weight. The highlight for me was I felt very accomplished. I felt like, wow, I really worked really hard today. I burned a lot of calories. My body's getting stronger. I felt really good. Later in the day, definitely needed a big rest, but really loved the class. For anybody who thinks yoga is for the faint of heart, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. And the interesting thing that I'm learning is that this curvy person can do yoga.
Well, I was a little worried about the name because, you know, it's still done at hot temperature, and really all it is they link the movements together a little more quickly. So, you know, probably a little beyond what I was ready for and am ready for. You don't mean to peek around and see what other people are doing, but you're not the only one who has to stop and towel off and get some water. And, you know, other people are going full steam at it, and, you know, the instructors are doing everything you're doing, but they aren't even breaking a sweat. And you just have to accept it's something new you're starting. The other day I put on a pair of jeans and actually went to my 4th belt hole instead of my 3rd, and I went, oh, that's a good sign. So yeah, definitely I'm feeling that better. I'm feeling my upper body a little more, like I couldn't have even held some of the poses that I would have, you know, like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Sleeping pretty well, feeling good about things. So I turned 50 last week, so I already feel better at 50 than I did for most of 49.